And we're going to talk about the knowledge base that we need to have for our sidewalk counseling. You're going to have a lot of information here. So I'm not going to go through all the websites and everything that are available to us, but there's some general facts that we need to know that, one, you're dealing with a human being and a human life and made in the image of God. Also, the many truths that are out there. We believe the truth, the Bible, about being made in the image of God. Also, testimonies are important as well. If you have a good testimony, I have a good one about my abortion. If you had a testimony with grandmother, grandfather, about how you talked to your granddaughter out of an abortion, or had a parent who counseled with you and you prevented an abortion, share that story, because they cannot dispute a testimony. They could always get in dispute about facts. We don't want to get into that. Some of the best stories are those that have no facts at all, but their person. Men in sidewalk counseling, I'm going to talk about that right now. Men belong on the sidewalk because men are made in the image of God. It's as simple as that. If you represent Christ, you're made in the image of God. He made what? Male and female. He said he made them. Then you belong on the sidewalk. Why? A woman who has had a bad experience with a husband or father, any kind of male figure, is going to see a kind representation of an ambassador of Christ. She's maybe not seen that ever in her life. You're out there as men to do that, to minister the love of God to her. Also, you're there also for the next woman coming on shift. Because of the enemy out there, and also he's agitating people these days, feels that he can bogart you. That's an East Coast expression. That's not a, excuse me. If he could bully you, he knows he can come on the next shift and give our sisters in Christ a hard time. We don't want to do that as men, do we? Amen? We're talking about humanity of the child. This is the babies at 8 weeks, and you could see them, hear the heart beating.
My name is Dr. Noreen Johnson. I'm a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist with 44 years of experience, and I've completed over 1,000 abortions. Today, I'm going to explain how the abortion pill works, which has been approved by the FDA to be taken up to the 10th week of pregnancy, although many abortion facilities use the pill off-label for weeks after that. The abortion pill regimen consists of 2 steps. Step 1. At the abortion facility or at home, the woman swallows mifepristone pills. Mifepristone blocks the action of a hormone called progesterone. Progesterone is naturally produced in the mother's body to stabilize the lining of the uterus. When mifepristone blocks progesterone, the lining of the mother's uterus breaks down, cutting off oxygen and vital nutrients to the embryo, who then dies inside the mother's womb. It is important to note that even after it has been taken, it is possible to stop the effects of the mifepristone and save the embryo if progesterone is administered. If the woman wants to stop the effects of the mifepristone, she needs progesterone as soon as possible. Step 2. 24 to 48 hours after taking mifepristone, the woman takes misoprostol by placing the pills in her cheeks. She will experience severe cramping, contractions, and heavy bleeding to force the dead embryo out of her uterus. The process can be very intense and painful, and the bleeding contractions can last from a few hours to several days. While she could lose her embryo anytime and anywhere during the process, the woman will often sit on a toilet as she prepares to expel the embryo, which she will then flush. She may even see the expelled embryo within the pregnancy sac. After she has disposed of the embryo, the woman may have bleeding and spotting for several weeks. Bleeding lasts on average 9 to 16 days. 8% of women bleed more than 30 days, and 0.5% require hospitalization because of heavy bleeding. The failure rate increases as the pregnancy progresses. At 8 weeks or less, the failure rate is 2 to 6%. At 8 or 9 weeks, the failure rate is 4 to 6%. At 9 to 10 weeks, the failure rate is 7 to 9%. At 10 to 11 weeks, the failure rate is 13%. If failure occurs, she will usually be offered a surgical abortion in which the embryo or remaining tissue is removed using suction. For the mother, abortion pills often cause abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, and heavy bleeding. Maternal deaths have occurred, most frequently due to infection and undiagnosed ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancy is when implantation occurs outside the uterus, usually in the fallopian tube. As I mentioned in the beginning, I used to perform abortions. At the time, I truly believed I was helping women. I initially stopped doing abortions to save my reputation. I was becoming known as a town abortionist, and I didn't want that. Later, however, I came to recognize the inherent value and dignity of all human life. That's when I truly saw the ugliness of abortion. Now I am a pro-life advocate. I am proof that anyone can change, no matter who they are or what they have done. I invite you to join me and make a decision to protect the preborn. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Kathy Altman. I'm a board-certified obstetrician-gynecologist with almost 33 years of experience, and I've completed over 500 abortions. Today I'm going to describe a second trimester surgical abortion called dilation and evacuation, or D&E. A D&E is generally performed between 14 and 22 weeks of pregnancy. Before a D&E abortion can be done, the cervix must be dilated slowly over 1 to 2 days with laminaria or a similar product. Laminaria is a type of seaweed that absorbs water and swells to several times its original diameter. When the woman undergoes the evacuation portion of the procedure, she lies on a table with her legs in stirrups. She may be given injections of local anesthetic in the cervix, IV conscious sedation, or general anesthesia. The abortionist uses a speculum to open the vagina and uses an instrument to stabilize the cervix. Metal dilators may be used to further open the cervix if needed. Once the cervix has been stretched open, a cannula attached to suction tubing is placed inside the uterus. The suction machine is then turned on and the amniotic fluid surrounding the fetus is suctioned out. The fetus is too large to fit through the cannula, so he or she must be removed in pieces with a clamp such as this Sofer clamp. A Sofer clamp is made of stainless steel and is about 13 inches long. At the tip, there are rows of teeth for grasping. The abortionist reaches into the uterus with the clamp and tries to grasp an arm or leg. Once the abortionist has a firm grip, she pulls forcefully in order to remove the limb. Piece by piece, the abortionist removes the arms and legs, followed by the head or the body, including the torso and pelvis, along with the intestines, the heart, and the lungs. The placenta is also removed. If the cervix has been overdilated, the body or even the entire fetus may be pulled out intact. Usually, the most difficult part of the procedure is extracting the fetus's head, which at 20 weeks is about the size of a large plum. The abortionist must open the clamp widely to grasp the head, and then crush it so that it will fit through the cervix. The abortionist knows he has crushed the skull when a white substance, the fetus's brains, leaks out through the cervix. The abortionist then removes the compressed head. Any remaining limbs, organs, bone fragments, or pieces of placenta not removed with the forceps are removed by scraping the uterine lining with a large curette or by reinserting the suction cannula. The abortionist then reassembles the fetal parts to make sure that there is nothing left inside the uterus, which could cause infection or bleeding. Once all the parts have been accounted for, the bleeding has been controlled, and all the instruments have been removed from the vagina, the abortion is considered complete. For the woman, this procedure carries a risk of major complications, including perforation or laceration of the uterus or cervix, with possible damage to bowel, bladder, or other maternal organs. Infection and hemorrhage can also occur, which can lead to death. Future pregnancies are also at an increased risk for loss or premature delivery due to abortion-related physical trauma and injury to the cervix. As I mentioned at the beginning, I used to perform abortions. At the time, I truly believed I was helping women. After the birth of my daughter, however, I realized that abortion doesn't just end a pregnancy, it kills an innocent human being. Such terms as zygote, embryo, or fetus are simply terms that refer to age, like infant, toddler, and adult, and do nothing to diminish the humanity of the child. As I cared for women in my OBGYN practice, I also learned how abortion harms women. I stopped doing abortions because I could no longer kill babies just because they were unwanted. I am now a pro-life advocate. I am proof that anyone can change, no matter who they are or what they've done. I invite you to join me and make a decision to protect the preborn. Thank you for watching.
We're going to talk about the emotional state briefly of an abortion-minded woman, and you just exhale watching those videos. We're going to talk about, just real briefly, if you want to see me in the back, about the emotions of an abortion-minded woman or man. We don't have time to do that right now. Just see me in the back, okay? Be happy to talk to you. We've had abortion. My wife and I have had an opposed abortion, miscarriage ministry, and we counseled hundreds of women over the years. Right now, we're going to talk about points of access from the public right-of-way, and these are the places that we can get the literature to women and men that are going into the abortion areas in the Twin Cities or wherever you might be working. Driveway. We try to do the car side as they're coming in. This is right along the public sidewalk here. You can see some people standing there, and they're in the driveway of the sidewalk going up into the abortion facility. The sidewalk is our friend. Use it. And also the sidewalk is a place where the escorts, who has seen escorts? Okay, they have no authority whatsoever to tell you what to do on the public sidewalk, period. Ignore them. 3, parking lots are also a good place to reach out and talk to people. Up at Uptown, the parking lot is enclosed with a fence, but you can see through it. If they can see you in your rearview mirror, if they can see you, you could see them. And you could wave and hold up your sign, wave the literature. Treat the parking lot as if you would an aquarium. You're looking in on the fish. Clients aren't fish, but use it as an aquarium because it's visible, it's a physical place to look in, and they can see you, and you could see them. Also, you could call out in the parking lot as well. Planned Parenthood in St. Paul, this is on Vandalia. Who else has been in Vandalia? Okay, we're all familiar with it. You notice that the access to the abortuary is way back in the block here on the right-hand side. This is one of our sidewalk counselors here. And also you see across the driveway the escort. Our job is to hand a smile, hand the literature to the car, engage them and talk with them about the hope, the humanity of the child and the harm. But you want to get them to help first. You remember what Thomas said, we can't talk to the baby in the driveway or anywhere else, but we can offer help to mom because she's carrying the child. Uptown. I'm at Uptown now. I guess I've been there for about a half a year. That is the newest one in the Twin Cities. They also dispense the chemical dump, as I call it, to transition your gender, so to speak. The driveway is here. This is on Emerson Avenue. And you can see our sidewalk counselor there standing on the where the sidewalk meets the driveway. So that's usually where I am on the corner there. That'll be Lagoon and Emerson. They do a lot of talking to passersby, but sometimes abortion-minded women come in off the bus. Be very aware about public transportation. Also scan the streets, kind of profile people and women or men that are coming in there. You'll learn after a while how to profile people as they come up to the sidewalk. This is Planned Parenthood in Brooklyn Park. This is where I was last week, Friday. And this used to be a dental office, but this is the parking lot over here. That little stair step right there is where clients can prayerfully come down and talk to us. But we have our sidewalk counselors and prayer supporters right there. And that's it's a busy street, but remember the sidewalk is our friend. And the escorts have what? No authority, all right? Whole Women's, that's the closest one to here. And you can see a aerial shot of the parking lot. And the cars come in there, and also on the, I guess that would be the eastern side of the lot there, can come in as well. But here's a good example of a sidewalk counselor. This is a driveway, and you see some of our signs. There's a public right-of-way on the grass. And you'll learn more about these specific sites as you go out for your training and observing on the streets, so don't worry about all the details.
I didn't have like a lot of support in my family. My dad is not even here, but my mom, she didn't support me like that. So I was feeling so bad. I was feeling like I don't want to have the baby at all. Even I didn't even have a place to stay with, because I have a kid already. So when I know that I was pregnant, I feel like I was going to die, to be honest. I don't know what I was going to do. Because of the father of the baby, he didn't want to do nothing with me neither, you know? I was so confused. I was like, you know, in that moment, you're so mad with yourself. I make an appointment to Planned Parenthood. So I went. I was crying all the way over there because I know that I don't want to have the baby, but inside, like all the inside of me, I was like, no, that's not right. So when I get there, I cross the street and I feel something in me, like I was like crying. So I know this person, Janet, and his friend, Sarah, and I talk to them. They make you understand that that's not a good decision. All that things was going in my mind, so I was like, I don't want another baby. No, it's so hard. That's why I wanted to have an abortion. So when Janet and Sarah talked to me, I was feeling like this thing onto me, like everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. So that's why I was like, okay. So they were like, you wanna follow us? So you can know Wakota and all that. I was so confused because I was like, no, I want to have an abortion, you know? But like I told you guys, all the way in my heart, I was like, no, that's not good. And I told everything that was happening because I used to stay one night in my car with my kid. So I was like, I don't want this for my kids. So they were like, we're gonna help you, and they are. I feel so special because not even my family helps me like this. And I don't know. I believe a lot in God, and that's, I think, the base. I don't know, I'm gonna have my baby now. And I'm just so happy. Meeting those people on the sidewalk, it just changed my life, like big. And I'm so happy because it's a girl. I always wanted a girl. Thank you guys for everything.
And the sidewalk counselors, and you see Dannon? Is she cute? Wonderful. Oh, that's what you can do. That's what you can do on the sidewalk, in the driveways, and by being faithful to show up and getting prayed up. And also, I'm just going to end with this. What those sidewalk counselors did for her was we created a common safe place. A common safe place that you can do that on the sidewalk. And you learn more about that as you go along. And also that the woman is appreciated and understood by our demeanor, and also builds trust. Demeanor, trust, and also those are the things that are very important. And you can build a peaceful place in front of a mortuary. Thank you.